Hi, you guys. Welcome to our class tonight. Tonight, we're really going to be talking about how we can go from overwhelmed to feeling aligned. And so part of that is self-care, essential oils. I'm going to talk a little bit about crystals and stones and rocks. Of course, that's going to include affirmations, intentional living, and daily habits. With all of the pressure that we have today, I feel like we live in a place where we're supposed to fix ourselves and we're supposed to fix ourselves overnight. It's like, okay, and it is a new year, depending on when you are watching this replay. And so with the new year, new intentions, and how many of us set out and start something or have good intentions on doing something different, and yet, time goes a little bit and we get off our path and we don't end up getting to do that. So tonight, you guys, we're going to talk about um, simple, easy ways to approach getting grounded, feeling compassionate, and coming up with things that you can do simple. But I think one of the main things is in order to get a result, you must put in the action. You can't just think about it. You have to actually do it. And the more that we learn and the more that we can practice, the better we will become at it. And the more that we live intentionally, then that overwhelm and all of the chaos and all the chatter will end up going away. Self-care for most or some can feel a little overwhelming. How about you? Like when you take time for yourself, do you feel like, gosh, I should be doing something else or I should be taking care of others? Well, the best gift that you can give anyone in the world is to by taking care of yourself first instead of leaving and showing up with what's left over. And of course, I love this. In order to achieve something better, you must be open to change and give yourself a little bit of grace and then start. So tonight, you guys, we're going to discover simple habits and practices that we can put into action and to live intentionally. And I want you to really just kind of consider and think about releasing the urgency to have it right and just show up in practice. Let go. Self-care can start with just one little thing at a time. And then as you get that and it feels super comfortable, then you can start adding on new things. Sometimes navigating the truth or knowing what your boundaries are, being able to say no to things so that you can say yes to others is very, very important. Another thing that we're going to talk a little bit about tonight is how we can approach new, maybe goals or new intentions with grace, being able to break down our, what it is that we really want. Because if we want, to, travel the world, and if the first, 6 months goes by and we haven't traveled anywhere, then we might get a little discouraged. So in some of these just mindsets and how we can really change things and releasing the pressure of having to have it all can be extremely exhausting. So as we move through our class tonight, I want to first say thank you for showing up, you guys. It is so exciting to see all of you guys here with us and just knowing that you want to get something different out of your everyday habits. Okay, so if you haven't been attending some of our classes, I would encourage you to go up through. I mean, all of our classes are in Good Vibes and they're also in on YouTube. So we teach a lot about the difference of doTERRA and how different our oils are than something that you just get on the counter. So everything that we're talking about tonight, I only recommend doTERRA essential oils. The difference is quality. And when we have a really good, pure scent, it can really help to change our mindset and our thoughts. So we know the power of aroma, and just by putting an essential oil in like a diffuser or being able to put it in our hands and just taking a deep breath and inhaling that fragrance, all of those little essential oils are these little molecule messengers that tell our minds and can kind of change our minds. And so when we need a little bit of rewire, we need to get back on the path, that's when this is going to come in. And then when we partner that with what we think about, comes about. And I know that that's really easy. It's a fun little saying, but if we're sitting and we're thinking positive thoughts and we're hanging out with positive people, those thoughts go into our mind and they sit there. And when we partner with a scent and everything, you guys, I want to remind you that doTERRA means gift of the earth. And as we transition into some of our topics for tonight, I want you to have an open mindset to all of the different gifts that are on the earth for us to use and how can we partner them to get good results. So everything from I was talking about, diffusing or making room sprays, or, when like before I got ready to teach class tonight, I went into my bathroom and I looked on my counter at all the different essential oils that I had on the counter. And the first thing I thought was, what do I want them to support me with? And part of it is to just be calm and have my mind clear. And so hopefully I can deliver you guys a good class. As you guys have questions or if you have comments, remember at the end of class, we will open it up for all of the questions and any kind of recipes and things that you have to share with us. Meanwhile, we have a lot of us here who can answer questions in the chat, so feel free to put those questions there. Okay, so the first essential oil that we're going to talk about tonight is clary sage. I love clary sage because not only does it help to support our bodies with our hormones, so it's one of those that is known for balancing our hormones, whether they're overactive or underactive. Clary sage is amazing. But really, what tonight clary sage is it is the oil of clarity and vision. So when we're trying to come up with something different, whether we're setting an intention or we're trying to get unstuck from something, that mindset and that smell is going to be very important. I love that we can use clary sage. There, back in the, you know, Cleopatra days, they used to take clary sage, the seed of it, and they would make it into like a paste, and they would put it around people's eyes on the outside edge so that they could help them with clearer vision and help with their eyesight. And I found that really interesting now because basically our essential oil comes from the plant, the flower itself. And so we can use it like if you practice mindset or maybe third eye or intuition or vision, right here between your brows is a really great place to put clary sage. It also, and I brought up the meaning of what does vision even mean? Because it's to think about a plan and a strategy with imagination or wisdom. So it's really being a little bit more intentional on what is it that I really want. I mean, you guys, do you know, like, what's a dream that you're dreaming about, or what's a goal that you want to hit? What's your purpose? Like, I was really thinking a lot about this today when I was preparing class today. It's like, gosh, do I have what I'm intending to do in place? And so as we talk about some of the different oils, I want you to think about it, clary sage and the way that it can help to support us and by diffusing it. So clary sage, you guys, I'm going to my essential oils and emotions book. I share out of this book all the time. So if you're curious about that, let us know and we'll put you in the right direction. So clary sage assists individuals in changing their perception. It gives courage to see the truth, one of the finest essential oils for the brow chakra. Clary sage dispels darkness and illusion, helping individuals to see their limiting belief systems. Clary sage encourages individuals to remain open to new ideas and new perspectives. It can also assist in healing in a crisis or drastic change in perspective is required. Clary sage opens the soul to new possibilities and experiences. Clary sage assists in opening creative channels and cleaning out the creative blocks. Okay, So there's more about clary sage, but just with that alone, I think that this is such a great and very important essential oil for us. And the best part about it, you guys, is you can decide how you're going to use it. If you need to just drop it in your hands and smell it, then that's great. And anytime you're getting ready to journal or, set some intentions or manifest, this would definitely be one that could help you, especially if you're feeling a little bit blocked in what you're trying to create. Now, another thing, you guys, and I wrote some of this out a little bit more in detail so that you can take screenshots if you want to, as reminders of we live in a constant or a time where there is constant noise. Like everywhere we go, there is, social media, the news is going on, the YouTube channels, the trainings, the podcasts, and the radio station. And then you've got your kids and your family, and everybody else is just constantly going. So, what do we get to do to calm some of that chatter? Because if we're wanting to create something new or create a place where we can visualize and see something even better, we can't really do that with all the noise in the background, right? So when you're getting ready to set an intention or, write down some goals or even practice your gratitude, is get in a place where it's nice and quiet. I love to set the room with essential oils of what do I want to create. So clear out what you don't want. You guys, it's just like we do with our houses from winter to spring. There's a time when I go in and I start going through the closets and I start donating and getting rid of stuff. In order to make room for more, we must get rid of some of the stuff that we have. I love also being able to, when I create blends or use essential oils, every single time it comes with an intention of a result that I want. And as I share some of my favorite blends with you guys in just a few minutes, I want you to think of, gosh, if you know somebody who's got a sore throat, we intentionally come up with a roller bottle blend or essential oils that they can use to support them, right? There's an intention. If we want better sleep, what are we're trying to get sleep. So we have a nighttime routine. We, kind of, turn off all of the electronics and stuff. And then we will also support our bodies or with essential oils for sleep. So there's an intention. So as we're doing this, I want you to remember that anytime you come up with an intention, what are some custom oil blends that you can use to release? Now, when I work with people, especially with like chakra balancing and some of this other stuff, is everybody's bodies are different. So something that might help Leslie shut her mind down, right? Because there might just be constant chaos, and maybe it's just overwhelmed with teaching or something. And with mine might be completely different. Maybe mine is stuff from the past, or maybe there's a memory that's being triggered because of the time of year. And so, again, you guys, be open to what essential oils are best going to support me in this journey. All right, so then we're going to write it down. You guys, there's a powerful thing that happens when you actually put pen to paper and you write down what it is that I want. And you can do this when you're trying to release and let go of things from the past. You can write a letter to someone and just rip it up or burn it or whatever you need to do. But writing these things down, the negative stuff, get rid of it. The positive stuff, put it where you're going to see it on a regular basis. Whether it's on the mirror in your bathroom or in your car, whatever it is. Okay, so then another thing I want you just to consider, because we talk a lot about when we're planting a seed or when we're planting a mindset, if we're taking our intention and are we taking and nourishing it? So and some of you guys may or may not have set a word for the year or intentions that you wanted to do for this season, do you just put it out there and then let it go? Or do you nourish it? It's just like the same as if you take a seed, an actual seed, and you put it in the dirt and you make sure the soil is prepared and you water it. And I'm going to talk to it and tell it how wonderful it is because I believe in all that too. Or do you just throw it outside in the garden and expect it to grow? Well, your intentions and being able to manifest is the same way. What kind of attention are you giving it? All right. So some of the mindset quotes that I love to say, and I want to practice gratitude is I love my life. Like if we start our day with, gosh, it's going to be a great day or it's going to be a bad day, we get it, right? It comes exactly what we ask for. And then I also want to just put out there to practice saying thank you. Thank you for the good things. Thank you for the difficult things. Thank you for the lessons that we're learning along the way so that we can then just be able to, have that sense of gratitude. And then I want you to see yourself attaining or achieving what it is that you're putting out there. You're writing it down, you're seeing it happen, and then as you journal about it on a regular basis of like, where am I at today towards this? Okay, now I've got a few essential oils I just want to kind of hit on. Wild orange is one of my favorite. It is the oil of abundance. You guys, I remember there was a time when I didn't really realize that how the effect that wild orange was having on me. When I first smelled it and I heard everybody going, "Oh, I love wild orange. You got to have wild orange and peppermint, and it's so amazing." And I'm like, wild orange, like we have citrus bliss and we have elevation and we have all these different blends. Why aren't you using those? Because they're not just, and I'm going to have air quotes, boring like wild orange. You guys, and then I started to diffuse it. I started to diffuse it when I felt like I had a block in creativity, or I needed to make something and I just couldn't get past that, or I was coming up with class ideas and I started really experiencing the abundance that it was putting into my mind. When we have citrus oils, it changes and uplifts our mood. So one thing I know for certain is I have never seen somebody take a whiff of wild orange and start to be sad or tired or unhappy. Usually 90% of the time people will have a smile on their face. So it is the oil of abundance, playfulness, joyful, and creativity. Now breathe is coming in here because sometimes when we have, gosh, maybe there's just a lot. How many of you guys experience a lot in your lives on a daily basis? It's like every time it's like, like today, my husband comes home from work and he had just this big sigh. And I was like, wow, that kind of a day, huh? And he goes, yeah, he goes, and I'm going for a walk. And I'm like, perfect, perfect way to get out there and reset. So just being able to remind yourself to take those deep breaths, to bring in whatever is new and exhale all of the old. And just remember that you are loved, you are supported, and that also opens up our airways, opens up our mindset, opens up the oxygenation to our brains, literally, into breathe. Now, lemongrass, I mean, you guys, if you've been around here for very long, you know that lemongrass is an essential oil that people, like I'll use it when I'm cleaning out the clutter, getting rid of all the old stuff, things that I might have been holding on to for a long time. Anyone here hold on to an old emotion, an old story, something that's happened or something that someone has said, or maybe it's scrapbooks or, every picture that your kids brought home from art class. I mean, it could be all of these things that we're holding on to. So lemongrass reminds us that I know all of the all of this is true. It also brings up the what if. Well, what if I can let go of this and open up space for something even better? It reminds us to be trusting and flexible. How many of you guys feel like sometimes, I know for myself, I could practice being more flexible, especially in relationships when things are, I feel like it should be a certain way and it doesn't work out that way. And then I'm upset or, somebody doesn't show up the way that I expected them to in my life. So lemongrass is really great for being able to release those mindsets. Now I'm going to go into black pepper for just a second. How many of you guys love black pepper? Yeah, Alicia, right? I can see you're going, yes, I love black pepper. It's a great reminder of what you are doing is good. So many times we live in a place where we want to hide behind a mask, or maybe we pretended that everything is okay. And you guys, what if we're doing the best that we can with what we have, with the situations? I want to remind you that we don't need to hide. We get to be ourselves and we get to stand up tall. So black pepper really brings that to us in being able to do this. So as we take these four oils, we're just kind of looking at them. I want you to just consider how could this apply to something in your daily routine or something that maybe you're going through or experiencing in the new year, or maybe you've set a goal or you've stopped dreaming. How many of you guys have just stopped dreaming about going somewhere magical or, something? Anyway, okay. So this next part is the citrus oils. So on the picture on the right-hand side, we have wild orange, right, growing on a tree. And I love that this is one of the plants that we use the leaves and the stems, which is petitgrain. We use the oil from the rind, which is our wild orange oil. And then we use the oil from the flower, which is neroli. Now, each one of these essential oils are extremely beneficial for us in just having that love, the abundance, the everything is possible. Here we've got wild orange plus basil. Have you guys tried that one before? What I love about it is the wild orange brings something fresh and bright. And then we have basil, which is renewing. It's kind of like, okay, it's time to start with something new and fresh. And what a great essential oil blend for this. And I put on here, don't just think about it, do it. Don't live in a place of the what ifs, right? If you need to add some lemongrass to it, go right ahead. And I also think you could add some black pepper. So maybe you've been hiding behind, a mask, or maybe you haven't really felt like standing in your own strength. Add that black pepper. Now, bergamot, you guys, especially when we're setting goals and setting intentions and what do we want, when we feel good about ourselves and we have our own self-worth, we can get out there and we can bravely say, hey, I want something different. I need to do something different to get the result. But yet it's a citrus oil. So in those changes and that mindset, it helps us to feel cheerful. And what I also love about bergamot is we're happy and we're excited. We feel confident, but we're also super calm and chilled out. Anything that you can think about where you've been kind of resisting or holding back, or maybe what if I'm not good enough, or what if they, whatever. This is a really great essential oil. Now, if you are into rocks and stones and crystals, now I told you earlier we were going to talk about some of the minerals and things that are in the earth. They're also gifts of the earth. Every single thing has vibration. From music, I mean, if you've been here for very long with us, music has a vibration. Essential oils have a vibration. Rocks and crystals and stones have a vibration. The different kinds of wood have different vibrations. So citrine is really it's the essential oil of abundance, but in a stone. I love that it's bright, it's clear, it's kind of got that golden highlight to it. And so this is a really great one to pair. Now, petitgrain, I mentioned it, is the leaf and the bark part of the wild orange tree. It gives us the gift of foundation, of feeling firm. I mean, think of the stalk of the tree and how it holds, look at all those oranges on there. It's holding all of those up and helping them to stay, nurtured and nourished. And so think of that's how it's going to offer support to us. So we have a plan and I'm sticking to it. Okay, you guys, change can be unfamiliar, and citrus oils are encouraging. They help to lift up our mood, especially wild orange, because it's the oil of abundance. Okay, now we're going to kind of transition into stones and how I count on them to support me in different ways. You guys, this is a little bit different for some people, but I know for my personal journey, as I learned the benefits of essential oils, which was really weird for me, and then I was open to the emotions part. You guys, I remember going, I'm not really sure about this. This is kind of strange. And then I kind of had this, you know what? All it's all gifts of the earth. Every single thing on this earth has a purpose. So carnelian is the stone of courage. So it helps. And then I've got benefits and uses and supports of essential oils that you can put with it. Carnelian is really great for us to be present. It stabilizes and offers us great for creativity. It helps to cleanse other stones and soothes and calms anger. In a week, next week, we're going to be talking about our chakras and just our energy centers in our bodies. And you guys, I was raised in a family where all of this was really off limits to us. It was looked at as being something that wasn't, I don't even know how to say it. But what I can tell you is that I had a mind-opening awareness of, again, gifts of the earth and anything that we can do to support us, down to music, essential oils, the food that we eat. Why not? So the oils that we've partnered with this is bergamot, which is our self-assurance, cinnamon, which is for sexual harmony, arbor vitae, which helps to get us rooted and offers trust, and then citrus bliss for creativity. Now, on the flip side of that, this is more pictures of carnelian. Isn't it beautiful? It's like fire. I love it. I think it's so pretty. This is definitely one that I am drawn to. And so then we've partnered it with affirmations. And you'll see here that affirmations are a powerful way to change our perspective. So maybe if we're having the same negative thoughts, or maybe we've been hanging out with people who are really downers, right? If we can change the way that we see things or hear things, then it really can show up differently for us. Anytime I'm partnering essential oils with an affirmation or with a crystal, I'm going to put the oil in my hands. I'm going to rub my hands together, and then I'm going to say out loud the affirmations. Now, to encourage courage, I am radiant, beautiful, and strong. I enjoy a healthy and passionate life. I am grounded and infused with positive, creative energy. I love and accept myself completely. And then, as I showed you the oils that we put in there, and then the benefit of carnelian, you can see how all of this perfectly matches together. You guys, this is one of the kits that we have put together that we sell at my store, and people love it. You know, somebody's going through something really tough. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe they just got fired and they need to have courage and they need to get their self-assurance back up, you know, or maybe they've lost something that they really love. This is very, very intentional on what do we want the result to be. Okay, the next one is rose quartz. We know what rose does for us, right? Rose is unconditional love. And just the color of rose and the quartz, I mean, this is clear, so it just brings that brightness and that happy. I don't think you can really look at this rose quartz on the bottom and not just go, "Ooh, that is pretty. I would love to have some of that," you know, and whether it's wearing it as a necklace or earrings or, you know, and I love putting the chips in my essential oil blends because I feel like it's just giving it one more step of energy and goodness. Rose quartz and rose oil is known for the for unconditional love. It is the greatest gift that you can give for yourself. If you're on a self-care journey and you're just starting out, or maybe you're wanting to up your practice, or you guys really, I can't tell you enough how important it is for us to be our biggest cheerleader, to cheer ourselves on, and to be able to not only um, love others, but be open to being loved back. And that is something that I worked on for a very long time because I have no problem giving, right? I love to give and I love to make people happy, but I had a really hard time receiving it back because I was hurt and I was very protected. And I just love it now. And I love the smell of rose, which I had to really learn because at first I couldn't. I just didn't. So the oils in here are rose, bergamot, marjoram. So marjoram, why this is in this blend is because it helps us to connect things back that might have been broken or torn. Anybody ever have a relationship that has fallen apart or has been hard, or gone through a situation that has just been just hard to deal with? So this reminds us to go back and we can put things back together. We can fix that wound. And of course, lime, I'm a lime lover, the zest of life. It doesn't get better than that, right? Just add that little tiny squeeze of lime in there. So here are the affirmations. I am open to love, being loved, and give love freely. I trust myself and accept all the good things in my life. I love and accept myself and love the life I am creating. So looks like I forgot to put a line in the front part, but it's in this blend. And one of the things I love about a line, which comes from our yoga collection, is it helps to put everything back in alignment. So if something's been off balance for a long time, or maybe the rug has been yanked out from underneath you and you feel like you just fell, or you're falling or you're just overwhelmed and stuff, that align really helps us to go, okay, wait, I am fully supported and everything is in order. And then, of course, the benefits of the other essential oils. Now, I want to open the idea to you guys that these are things that I came up with. Every single one of you guys could rewrite these affirmations to better fit what you need. Or what a great gift to give somebody who's gone through a very challenging time. Hey, I made up this special roller bottle for you. Here are some things I want you to take it out. I want you to roll it on your wrist. So with this one specifically, I'll hold somebody's hand out and I'll have their left hand and I take that roller and I make the shape of a heart. And I'll say, okay, wait, don't smell it yet. And then I'll do another heart on the other side. I'll have them put the two hearts together, rub it together, and then just inhale. As they are inhaling it, then I have them repeat the affirmations. You guys, and if I'm working with somebody specific on something like this, I will say, okay, I want you to repeat it out loud. And I'll have them do it a couple of times until they say it with conviction. And the idea is that if you guys are familiar with mirror work or, any of those different things that we've taught over the years is, this would be really great to put this oil on, look yourself in the mirror, in the eyes, and say some of these things. Bobby, I dare you, right? It's like, look in the mirror, put the oil on, and you can also hear us saying it to you also, right? And so in some cases, if it's hard for you to look in the mirror and say some of this to yourself, then I'm practicing. I am open. I am practicing being open to being loved. I am practicing giving love freely. I am practicing to trust myself. And so you can just add a few words to really make it feel best for you. Okay, black tourmaline. Ooh, I love this one, you guys. I have a huge piece that sits on my dining room table in my kitchen. It's huge, like it's great big. It looks like a big old sack of flour or sugar. Anyhow, what I love about black stones is it absorbs the negativity around you. And so a lot of times we don't even know what's going on around us, but it's like, let that just take it all in and soak it up. So black tourmaline is also known to be the stone of protection. Um, it shields us from getting all the negative thoughts or anything else. I wear a lot of black tourmaline jewelry. You guys, I know you've seen it because I wear it all the time. And I just love the idea. So here's another thing. Whether it's in my head or not, I'm just going to go back to essential oils and whether you like the smell or whether you think it's working or not, is why not surround myself with even more things? Okay, essential oils for this is going to be Purify, Air X, and Zendocrine. Now, Zendocrine, I still have a little bit of back stock. So once that is gone, I'm going to replace it with the Revitazen. And so let's go and see what the affirmations. So this is a bubble spray that we make. I love this spray, you guys. It smells very light and airy and fresh. The idea of this is we put all of the essential oils into a spray bottle. We fill it up with water. We put a little pinch of Epsom salt in there to help bind it together. And then the idea is to shake it up and spray it over your head so that the oils in the water are kind of misting down on you and washing away all of that negative, the thoughts, all the things. You guys, we sell this blend to offices where there's a lot of women and nobody gets along. We sell this to offices or people who work with a lot of negativity. So, like a counselor or somebody who, has a lot of people come in and just dump their stuff on them. So you can spray the room before, you can spray the room after. Anytime I feel kind of heavy, you guys know what I mean? When you've had a conversation with somebody and you're going, gosh, I feel like I should go take a shower. This is when I get my bubble spray out and I spray it and it just works. It works so good. So the affirmations with this is I release all negativity and welcome peace, love, and light into my life. I am grounded, radiant, and filled with positivity and creative energy. Gosh, as I'm reading these, I'm going, when I made these, I really needed to be creative because every single one of them have creative something in there. I surround myself with high vibes and divine light that uplift and protect me. You guys, anytime you need a uplift and any of these blends that we're sharing right now, you could put in your diffuser. Just cut down the drops. So you could do like 1 drop of Zendocrine, 2 drops of Purify, and maybe 3 drops of Airx. And just let it be in that whole area. So if you're working with maybe you're working on a project where nobody agrees on anything and emotions are getting a little riled up, diffuse this blend. All right. So big change begins with a single choice. Keep choosing small, consistent, and create massive results over time. It just starts with action, you guys, one step. Okay, I'm going to have X in my life. I'm going to be more joyful. I'm going to be, spend more time outside. Whatever it is, starts with just one step. Okay, so here are some daily practices for our self-care. You guys, all of these things are things that you may not be able to do all of them, but over time with practicing, I remember when I really got into the self-care and the mindset change, is the goal was like 1 or 2 minutes of each of these categories. Even though some of them, as you practice them and they become more of a just habit, you could do more, spending time in gratitude and doing things for others. How much time are you finding joy? Are you making time to have fun and laugh and just, maybe play hooky or go to a movie or something like that? This is very, very important. And remember, you guys, whether it's 1 minute, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, or 2 hours, exercise and movement are really important for our mindset and for our happiness and joy. Sitting in a sunny window, I know, depending on the time of year, it could be very, very cold outside. It could be very, very hot. So just sitting in the window or, sitting on a patio that's covered, walking a little bit further, maybe parking farther from the door, so that you get a little bit more movement. Okay, so not only do we nourish our minds and put all these wonderful scents and things around us, but it's also very important that we get good nourishment. And this starts with our bodies. When our bodies are um, not getting the nourishment on the food and all the minerals and all the other things, it doesn't show up the way that it should. If we're, drinking enough water and we're staying hydrated, it makes us want to get up and do more things, right? Otherwise, if we're just eating a bunch of, drive-through food and, I don't know, TV dinners or whatever it is, that is the energy that we're getting into our bodies. So VMG, you guys, this is such a game changer for so many. The omegas, I was telling my son today, we've got a brand new grandbaby, and he's going, okay, how do I get this in my baby? And I'm like, oh wait, hold on. Because he's wanting to pop a pill and put it in the breast milk, and I'm like, wait, no, have the mama take it. But how important, and I said, the recommended dose is 3 of these a day, and I'm taking 6. And I said, I swallow 2 and I chew 1 twice a day. And I had him, take one out and chew it. And, he looked at the ingredients and he studies all this stuff. He's going, no, she needs to have the 6 a day too. So I just love that we have something that I don't have to worry one bit about this mama brand new mama who's breastfeeding taking these products. I also recently, and I shared this with him too, is the VMG Plus. I had read a testimonial from, or I had heard a testimonial from a new mom, and she said, gosh, even with one, she had done something called a Zytoscan, and it had recommended her take more. And she's like, well, why? I'm already taking one. Why would I need more? So she started taking one later another additional one later in the afternoon. And what she discovered is waking up a couple of times during the night. When she started taking VMG Plus, she had more energy. She was sleeping better. She was waking up with more energy, and that was the difference. So, you guys, these products are so amazing for all of us. And when we talk about PB Restore, so PB Restore is a pre, pro, and postbiotic that helps with our mitochondria and in our gut. And it is where our emotions and everything sit. And it's our second brain. And so you guys, all of these things function for brain health, heart health, and our nutrition. Okay, so you guys, the only way to order, and hopefully if you're watching this, you're working with somebody who's helped you get your own wholesale account. If not, make sure you reach out to the person who invited you. And the only way to order is through our rewards program. You can do, instant orders and you can do one-time orders and things like that, but I love getting the most bang for my buck. So I always order using rewards, and I earn 30% back for every dollar that I spend in points. And I just got done turning in 465 points, which are just like dollars, for things for my family. And I love that. We have all kinds of, gifts and free things that you can get to make sure that you guys are getting the most out of your membership. And if you have questions about this, make sure you reach out to us. We're happy to help. Okay, on the right-hand side, you guys, I did bring up our Good Vibes Essential Recipe book. We created this as a team. Gosh, it's been a year ago. Gosh, we're almost celebrating 1 year of having this recipe book. We've sold over 200 copies of it. When you go to the QR code, it'll take you to a link where you can purchase. Why I'm sharing this is because there's an entire section on essential oils, and it's a high vibe section, and it gives all kinds of affirmations and recipes and things that you can use to really take advantage of the products that you have and learn and be more confident about how to use them. Thank you. I just want to say thank you before we say goodbye and open it up to the chat. There is one more thing I want to tuck in. And so if you're watching the recording, this is for January 22nd of 2026. You can see the essential oils that are down on the far left corner. Those are coming at a discount for people for our Valentines. I love them. Citrus Bloom is a great blend of citrus oils and flower oils. So anytime you have a citrus oil, you have uplifting and happy and joy. And then you have the floral oils, which bring comfort and love and compassion. And so the blend of those together, it's a great blend for this time of year. Jasmine is known as the oil of the night. Um, there's all kinds of things about that. It takes a lot of petals to be able to come up with our jasmine oil. It is in a roller, so that means it's a touch. So it's been combined with our fractionated coconut oil because a little tiny bit goes a long ways. And we just got done making a manifest roller, which is clary sage, jasmine, and oh, that's and ylang ylang. And so when you start researching and looking at all of the benefits of those three essential oils, you can only imagine what it smells like. We were able to put it with moonstone in a roller bottle and just kind of partner all of that energy together. And then osmanthus is also available for purchase I think it's only for a week. I can't remember. I got the details, but not yet. Osmanthus is an essential oil that you can't purchase any other way. It's been a free product before, but you guys want to get it while you can because it's an amazing essential oil. I have a friend who was having tremors on a regular basis. And this essential oil was the only thing that stopped those from happening. And so she was wearing it like perfume. She would put it on her wrist. She would put it on the backs of behind her ears. And within seconds, it was able to really calm down everything. And she was able to stop those tremors. So you guys, essential oils not only help to support us on a physical level, but also on an emotional level too. All right, I want to say thank you for everyone who has watched this recording. You can find this and many more at our YouTube channel or in our Good Vibes VIP Facebook group. We're going to say goodbye so we can stop the recording and start answering some questions. Good night, everybody.